Hey, my name is Stephanie. I'm the founder of Hair by Akani. I am a hair distribution mega center, okay? And basically, we sell, but we also provide companies worldwide with hair materials from raw to produced, and we also design hair tools for kinky curly hair, sustainable hair tools. So be on the lookout for that. Today's video is about how to find a manufacturer, especially when you want to find a Chinese manufacturer or maybe even a manufacturer in Southeast Asia. You know, India produces, Cambodia, the Philippines, wherever. So just a little bit about me. Um, I sourced for a while, but I also would consult with lots of businesses in various industries. I would help them find their manufacturers. I would help them um, source already made goods. I would help them, go between them and the factory, help with that language barrier, language barrier. There we go. You know, between the Chinese and English. I would be on the grounds for quality control when it came to checking on the quality of the items, or, just the timing of getting everything together. Where are we in the process of making these goods for the client, for the business? And then just being that person there who can be the eyes and the ears on the ground. So a lot of people ask me through the years, especially my 5 years of living in China, how did I find my manufacturers? Did you go on Alibaba? Did you go on AliExpress? And my answer to that is no. And my answer is because I lived in China, I really didn't need to buy from there. But it was a helpful tool for me to locate vendors, locate factories, locate manufacturers. So I would go to Alibaba, find what products I needed, find what factories I needed, and then from there, actually living in China, it could have been a factory visit, it could have been a WeChat conversation, um, or they probably had a store or some site in my city that I lived in. I lived in Guangzhou for 5 years, and I would just help people do this, not only for my own business, but for other people. And it definitely helps. Would I have used Alibaba to pay for things you know, if I wanted to? The answer is still no, because obviously the advantage of living in China is I can get a very good price for a lot of things. So what you have to be mindful of is a lot of times the prices on AliExpress and Alibaba, they already have a tax on it because they know that people from abroad, foreigners, are using it to buy goods. So even though the prices are very low, very competitive, they're still going to be higher. For instance, I could look at a product, be in the store, be able to negotiate, see so much more right there, right then, and money in hand, probably save like $50 at least on whatever it was, how much I was buying. You might have heard terms as an MOQ, minimum of quantity for your purchase order. I'm going to break down those things, but the basis of today is really just to give you some tips and some gems on how to find a good manufacturer. And we're focusing on Southeast Asia and China because, China makes 80% of the world's goods and products. Even now, with what's going on with COVID-19, China's making all of the masks. China's providing a lot of the testing kits and a lot of the medical supplies. So people are still buying from China. And obviously, if you're using sites like Alibaba and AliExpress, then you are as well. So first, I just want to say that for any product going in, any manufacturer, you want to make sure that they have great customer service. You can't really tell that, of course, by the way that they talk to you, but talking to you is one way. If they're rushing you to buy, why are you rushing me? You know what I'm saying? What's up? What's up, Kafasi? I see you in there. Um, so you go on Alibaba, you talk to them, you go on AliExpress, and you just start the initial conversation, what you're looking for, if it is a product, or what you want to manufacture. So great customer service. Ask them about the shipping, the logistics, in terms of shipping. What source are they using? Is it cargo? Is it freight? You know, how much for how much? If I buy this much amount of goods, if I design and produce this much amount of goods, how much is that going to take? Cost? How long is it going to take to get to wherever I need it to get to? And consistent quality, right? So if you were to go to Alibaba right now, you could look for a supplier name, or you could actually just put in the product that you're looking for. You could search by looking for product. You could search by looking for a supplier. So once you do that, you can get some information about the companies that sell, the factories that sell, and you can see, oh, okay, they've been in business this amount of years, and their factory is in this place. So a lot of times, it's business, it's online business. No matter who you're dealing with, you have to be cautious because you never see the person. You're only interacting with them online, so they could cheat you out of your money. They could totally give you something that you didn't even ask for. They could totally not send you your order. And a lot of times on that side, it's like, what are you going to do? Are you going to spend $1,000 on a round trip ticket to go and come back to get it? Some people do, but a lot of people don't. So at the end of the day, a lot of vendors, a lot of factories, they play around and they don't give you the service that you need, whatever you paid for. So you just have to be very careful. So I want to give you some tips and tricks on that. So customer service, asking them about shipping, and then the quality. Now, you're far away. How do you test the quality? Okay, let's get a sample. Let's buy a sample. That can be easy. It's a smaller amount up front. It gives you a chance to see what they can do, and you can take it from there. For hair, for instance, a lot of times you really just have to test the hair that you get from certain manufacturers. Like, I have spent a lot of money on bad hair, bad quality. Even living in China, some factories, they think because I'm a foreigner, they don't know that I live there. So, they might give me something that I didn't necessarily request or ask for or pay for. Then I have to show up the next day on the scene like, excuse me, what was this? And then, we rectify the situation. So you just want to make sure that your company is reputable because they control the whole process, from the raw to the production line, quality, packaging, shipping. You want to see if they can do all of those things. And honestly, a lot of times, a factory that is serious and is professional, they're going to be able to not only design and make your products in terms of you can give them an original design, or you can pull from what they have already designed. That's your OEM versus DEM. So original design versus the factory manufacturer design. They will also provide packaging and shipping. So, a lot of times, if I have a beauty company that wants me to find lashes for them, not only will this lash factory have the lashes, but they will also provide the containers for the lashes to go in that you can choose from. So that's, the more that a factory does, it kind of solidifies their professionality. Not so much the quality, but just the ability to do a lot of things. And sometimes, the more that they can do, the better their quality is, because it's kind of like, why would you waste this much money making all of these things that people are no longer going to support once they know that it's bad? But you can't put anything past anybody. That's why you've got to be sure what you've got to do. Okay, so you go on AliExpress, you go on Alibaba, and you type in the name or your product, and you look up their business type, you look up the number of years. They might have some type of certificate, signed and sealed by the government, just saying that this company is certified to make these amounts of products, and they've been doing it for these amount of years. We've checked the quality control. It's been great. And boom, you're good to go. But again, still do samples. Still buy samples. Still try to build a relationship. I will say one really great tip, especially working with Chinese people, Chinese culture is very relationship based. But just in the general scheme of things, think of it in terms of you want to meet someone, but you don't know them personally, but you have a friend that knows them. So it's going to be a lot easier for you to meet this other person through your friend because of the relationship, the mutual relationship that you have. So 9 times out of 10, when I went to visit factories on behalf of clients or on behalf of myself, I went to go meet the boss. Okay, we call this the Laoban in China. The boss. I want to meet the owner of the factory. I don't want to meet the person that's on the computer sending me messages on Facebook and Instagram. I want to meet the person so that they can look me in my eyes and know that, one, I can speak Chinese. So no side talking. If you side talk, I'll be able to understand you. 2, I'm here. I'm not just a person buying online. I'm not disposable money that you can just take, collect, and push to the side. And also, I'm going to negotiate with you. So it's just creating that relationship that's like, wow, you took the initiative. And a lot of times I'll just wait. I'll wait after I meet with the owner of the factory. I'll tell them where I'm from. And depending on where the conversation goes, I might let them know that I live in China. I may not. Some of them will be like, wow, you came here all the way from America. You're very serious about it. I want to make sure that we greet you properly and that we show you the best that we can do. Boom. You're telling me something. You're letting me know. And a lot of this stuff, of course, this is if you're actually there, but have these conversations with the people. If you cannot visit the factory, that's fine. Ask them to video call you. Download WhatsApp. A lot of them are on Facebook and they might be on with their phones. Let them give you a factory tour, a virtual factory tour, just so you know that if you are truly looking for a manufacturer, you're not just talking to another vendor, because a lot of those exist too on Alibaba and you won't know it. And there's another tip. There are tons and tons of stores. I've learned, especially through the hair business, that factories will produce so many different stores. And to be honest, they might have one store with a certain quality of hair versus another store with a certain quality of hair. There was one time that I had, been working with this one manufacturer. And so she was like, you should check out our other store. It's in the beauty market. Go check it out. Go see what's up. We're there too. So I was like, okay, cool. I didn't really know what that meant. It wasn't like, here I live in the States. We have a store called Walmart. You can go to one Walmart, go to another Walmart. You'll find you'll find same prices, same products. This was a totally different store. It was almost like it wasn't even the same store in terms of the quality. And then when I questioned it, they were like, yeah, this particular store is for, this type of clientele. they don't really want to pay this type of price. Most of the hair is not raw. Most of the hair is not single donor. So you just have to ask questions. And, you know, just doing this for 5 years, um, I've learned a lot. You know, I've seen a lot, and just asking questions puts them on guard that you're serious about what you're doing and you don't have any time to play around. So that means a lot. Yes, girl. So, okay. Um, you start the conversation with your vendor and you ask questions. You want to see a factory tour. I think that honestly, the best way, of course, is to go see things in person. Um, I definitely host factory tours, market tours while I'm in China, because once you get to China, you know, it's like a totally foreign world in terms of you've never been there before. You get used to it and it is a very livable place, but you know, Chinese is very different from any other language. And, you know, the foods are different. It's a 13-hour plus flight from wherever you're coming from. So there are just lots of strains that can get you all discombobulated and you don't know what to do. So a lot of times people would call me or refer me when they got to the city, because ever since I got to Guangzhou, I was in every market you can think of. The hotel market, where they're selling hotel supplies, mostly living supplies, the hair and beauty market, electronics, apparel, toys, furniture, you name it. It changed my life because I would never walk again in Pier 1 Imports and think that there was somebody at the back carving, okay? False. Everything came from China. I was just looking around like, wow, wow. So, you know, a lot of times I would just be in awe with the amount of products that were available. And also, you walk up and you're interested in a product, and then the person is telling you that they are a factory back store, and you know, you can make this in so many different variations. You can put your logo, you don't have to put your logo. We can do all of those things for you. So it's just, it's helpful when someone like me is there to help guide. And you know, once you start looking at prices, then you can start negotiating. And I want you to know that just because there's a price on Alibaba and AliExpress doesn't mean that that's the final price. You know, it's on there, and if you buy it, clickbait, boom, good. It's still a good price, but there's a better price. I talk about the 5 tiers of prices on my YouTube. So if you click this link below, this website that I pinned here in the comment, you can find a list of my other videos. I blog about it as well, but the 5 tiers of pricing when it comes to sourcing. So just quickly, I want to talk about that because you have to know that maybe you can afford it, but the price can be a little bit better, okay? Most definitely, the price is going to be better when you're on the grounds. Most definitely, the price is going to be better when you're at the factory. Most definitely, the price is going to be better when you are buying multiple quantities. So it just depends. So let's talk about the 5 tiers of pricing. Again, it's on my website, www.hairbyconnie.com. Link in the bio. Let's see. But do you guys have any questions thus far? Hey, Cheryl, how are you, girl? I hope you're well. I hope everybody's well. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. As I look for this link, sorry I don't have it already prepared. The tiers. All right, here we go. Actually, I talk about 6 tiers of pricing. So first, there's the original source price. It's for raw and unprocessed, but in terms of hair, you can get, you know, bottom barrel deal for like raw hair. And I'm talking about they literally go and cut it off someone's head. They haven't washed it, they haven't cleaned it. Depending, you can find people who can bag up hair for you, or you can, you know, get it raw after it's cleaned. Then you have the factory price. It's a little bit more expensive than the original sourcing price because, you know, the factory has to do the dirty work. You got to pay for it. Then there's the price for locals and nationals, aka if we're in China, the Chinese price. Now, how many times have you been to a foreign country and you know that unless it's inside of like an established store with an actual price that you pay for, you know, maybe it's just there are no prices, no signs, and you ask for the price and they give you a price, you know it's off. You might have heard them give another price to a local person that lives there. So that's what this is about. Of course, there's going to be a lower price for a local person versus a foreign person because, you know, I guess that's just the nature of the game because people do it worldwide. Not saying it's right or it's wrong. For whatever reason, don't need to or want to go through the reasons why people do it, but just know that local people are getting a lower price. And with that said, like I said, Alibaba has a certain price, and then me being a foreigner in China, I could be at the market for a certain price, or I would just have access to a lot of different websites and apps that would sell products just the same, which will be totally, totally cheaper. The kicker was a lot of this was in Chinese. So obviously it's just meant for Chinese people in terms, but if you could understand or you get used to it, you could find it. But once I started learning more and more about this, it was like I followed the rabbit until we got to the end of the tunnel because it was crazy. And then I remember at the beginning catching on to this, I immediately hired a Chinese assistant so that she could talk to the factories on my behalf so I can make sure that I was getting the absolute best price, right? There's this little thing called Guangxi, and it's like when you have that relationship, that respect between the other person, they're going to do you very well. They're not going to trick you. They're not going to cheat you. So with some people, I could establish that with, and with other people, if I didn't have the juice, say hello to my little friend, okay? She will be talking to you on my behalf, and sometimes I could get the better or best deal through that, but don't forget that you can always negotiate. Everything is negotiable, okay? The next one is the inbound foreigner price. Inbound means that you're actually there on the grounds, and your foreigner is going to be a little bit higher than the local person's price, the national's price. But because I'm there, I see it right now. I can test it right now. I don't have to wait until you ship it to me for it to mess up or see if it works. And I can negotiate right here. The price is going to be different. And then there's the online wholesaling price. This is your AliExpress. This is possibly your Amazon. Again, your Amazon is going to be a lot more expensive than your, sometimes, but mostly, than your AliExpress, your Alibaba. There's Wish out there. I believe Wish is Korean. There's Rakuten. That one is Japanese. I found one for the Philippines. I found one for India. I found one for Thailand. So if you want those, need those, definitely consult with me. I can definitely give you much more on person, catered to you and your business, depending on what you're looking for and what you need. And lastly is the warehouse price. Okay. Warehouses, usually storage buildings, manufacturers, they put their things in international cities. You know, a lot of times people, you know, they're still buying China, but they have warehouses all over the states or, you know, whatever country you're in. And that way the items can get to you faster and, you know, can return faster if need be. So with that said, of course, the price is going to factor in shipping because they've got to get it to the factory or to the warehouse. So those are your 6 pricing tiers: the original source price, the factory price, the price for the locals and the nationals, the inbound foreigner price, the foreigner who is on the grounds, the online wholesale price, and the warehouse price. So those are some things that you can use to compare and to negotiate. But like I said before, you have to be careful. So a lot of times it's not just one vendor, it's not just one factory. You have to have multiple so that you can know how to negotiate. You can see what one does. And just frankly, everyone does different things and they do different things at different qualities. You know, for my colored hair, it's a totally different place than my natural colored hair. My natural colored hair factory is great. They're great at natural colored hair. They don't really explore with the super vibrant colored hairs that I offer, the ombres, because that takes a certain technique that takes a lot of money, takes a lot of time, and if you're rushing through something, it's not going to be right. And I remember requesting some colors from them, and they botched it. I was like, what happened? I thought that you guys did a great job with this other hair. It's just hair dye. Don't you do hair? What's up? And they let me know, like, well, yeah, but we mostly focus on natural hair colors. So then I needed to find someone who could produce colored hair and do it well, and also do it at the range that I needed. And I had to go out and find that. And then a lot of times you want to have backup because sometimes someone may be out of stock and other times they won't. So one good question to ask your manufacturer, depending on how big your production is going to be, is what is the maximum capacity of production that you provide? Because if I have a buyer that tells me that he needs 50,000 body weight bundles in so length, then I need to be able to provide that. They need to be able to produce that. So it depends. Maybe it's a factory just starting out. Maybe they don't have a lot of skin in the game. You use that information to the best of what you need. Sometimes you don't need that big, right? Sometimes you just need small. You just need a couple kilos, about 20 pieces of hair. Some people can do that easy peasy. So one of the great advantages, though, of me living in China was I could go to the beauty market. And at the beauty market, a lot of the factories had stores represented there. And they didn't necessarily, or I didn't necessarily have to go to the factory to produce hair. I could talk to a representative right there, get factory price, and I can come to them. I could check on it, and I get their phone number. We're no longer talking online because, sometimes words can get misconstrued, and, people just treat people differently when it's face to face. So that's another thing. So I definitely would say, when everything clears up and you can travel wherever you're going, it's always great to go to the factory because you can see how they treat their employees. If you care about things of that nature, I definitely care about things of that nature. You can look at just the nature of the facility. It's very important to me because I try to control all the way from getting the raw hair all the way till it gets shipped to my client. Like, I've drop shipped myself. So I've been at every process of the hair industry. So I know, I've seen, and also some of the clients that I have working with some of their products and their designs, I have the experience to learn different insight for different industries. I've helped boutiques, apparel boutiques, design their own clothes or get their original designs produced or source um, apparel, shoes. I have also helped produce athletic wear, yoga mats, LED lights for the bathroom, and all of that was so good to me because I was learning my way around different areas of products, sourcing, manufacturing, but the facts still remain. Does this company have great customer service? What is your aftercare service like? That is a huge question. Aftercare service. If something happens to this product, are you going to, one, accept this product back for a refund or an exchange? If you do take this product back, who's paying for shipping? Am I paying for the shipping or are you paying for the shipping? Are you going to basically rectify the problem, the issue, especially if it's something that you did? Hey, everybody. So those are important questions that you have to ask the manufacturer so that you know whether you can work with them for long term. There have been tons of manufacturers and vendors that, I mean, to this day, it's just like, I'm not messing with you because you show me your true colors. I remember there was this one time I bought hair. This was like, I had been in China for 3 months. I didn't really know exactly what was going on. I bought some hair on behalf of a client. So shipped the hair off, and the girl told me immediately she washed it. It just tangled up. It didn't bounce back, any and everything. So I'm like, oh my God, like I really want her to work with me again. So something has got to be done. I go back to the store. I'm showing them video of the hair messing up. And they basically were just like, well, you bought it. There are no returns. There's nothing that we can do. And I was like, okay, that let me know I'm not going to do business with you again because you don't appreciate me. As a customer, you should appreciate me because the end goal is you want me to shop with you again, right? So I just took it. Obviously, my cash and my time is disposable. You don't care about me. So I was like, next. Anytime I would feel like there was no aftercare service or, just terrible products, I would definitely just move on. I wouldn't even waste my time. So yes, you do go through a lot of that. With business, a lot of times you have to spend money to make money. You do have to go through product samples. And sometimes some things just don't work out. Maybe there is one bad apple in the bunch. But in order to preserve that relationship, a great factory, a great manufacturer, they are willing to work with you with great aftercare service so that you can shop with them again. And listen, I done had many a tea times, okay, looking eye to eye. And some of them I let them know, listen, I live here. I'm going to pull up. And I do pull up. And it blows them away. It's just like, you live here? Yes, I live here. So where is my money, or where is my product, or what's happening? Because false. So, a little anecdote, story time. And because you found this little unicorn who's giving you all the deets to manufacturing, we're going to put on this cute little unicorn horn. Okay, so I was talking with a friend, business talk, and he also consults with businesses and helps them manufacture. So he bought about $3,000 worth of hair from a company that he had only solicited or bought from twice. So he did the rest of his transaction online. He was like, I don't need to go in the store anymore. I don't need to do any of this. So let me just do this. Let me order online, get the hair, ship it out to the client. Boom, it'll be good. Order happens. Sends the order to his client, and like all of the hair was bad. Nothing was good. Nothing was what he asked for. Like he wanted to return all of it, not some of it, all of it. So of course my friend is like, I'm losing business. This is like looking bad on me. So Now he had to come in person and talk to the people. And, sometimes in China, like when you go to a factory, or really any type of place, whether it be an institution, some place of business, if you want to talk to a manager, you know how you can be, let me talk to your manager in America. Nope. They will start you at the bottom of the chain in terms of representatives who you can talk to rectify whatever situation. So they kept on trying to get him to talk to different people, and he was like, no, I want to talk to the boss. I want to talk to, so they were like, okay, just wait. They could see that he was really upset. And so finally, the boss comes out. He's tense. He's nervous. He starts boiling that tea. They sit down because a lot of times in China, business deals are made over tea time. And he basically just told him, look, this is what I ordered. I didn't expect this from you. I had ordered from you before. Those 2 purchases before were a lot of money. So he's thinking, in terms of, I've spent money with you before. I've spent a lot of money with you before. How dare you, just disregard me like that? Especially, this is my business. You're making me look bad. And so the next thing that comes out of the owner's mouth is, why didn't you come to me in person when you had this order? Then he went on to say, sometimes we just think that a lot of these people are just buying from online, which he did, far away. And maybe we're not looking twice at what we ship, what we put in the box. Now, of course, this doesn't go for all manufacturers. I'm not saying that this happens, but if he could so easily say that as an owner, after obviously having business with him, and he's here in person, what is that saying about someone who is thousands and thousands of miles away, abroad, ordering online? Like, that threw me for a loop, because I was like, wow, so you could still get got. Apparently, yes. So you just have to be careful. And so many times after I do business with my clients, my international clients, they just let me know, not only was the process a lot easier because I negotiated with them, for them, in person, but, sometimes when you're talking, a lot of things get misconstrued. When you are talking to a lot of manufacturers, especially if English is not their first language, that can mess things up. Orders can get botched, and then at the end of the day, you're going to have a bad feeling about working with a particular company, or you just might feel down and out about doing business. And yes, that happens, but you just have to keep going, and you have to be smarter. It's happened to me. It's happened to me there. It's happened to me over here. So no one is immune from it happening, but with proper language, asking certain questions that puts them on guard that you're serious and they can't mess with you, that always helps. Okay, so let's see. Anything else that we need to add to the list? I think that's about it on my end with trying to find a manufacturer. But does anybody have any questions for me? Any questions? Let's see. We have one question. I have an uncle that is looking to buy packaging for some product he developed. Could I get him your contact information? Absolutely, you can. My email address is here pinned, or you can go on my page and you can click the link to my bio. You can DM me. You can send me an email. I do have my WhatsApp number on there as well. Reach out. I definitely help people, their business cards, their packaging, all of that. So yes. Any other questions? Let's see. Hey, you need that beard brush? Well, you already know. You already know where to go. So just really quickly, before we end this, I want to say that thank you guys for coming. I hope this was helpful. If you do want to manufacture or source, especially from China, be sure to just look at my YouTube page. I'm always posting content, giving people tips and tricks to exploring China, entering China. But also, I've gone to the Philippines to do business, Thailand, Vietnam. I've also gone to Nigeria to do business. I do business here in the States. So I do have a lot of experience, but I'm definitely keen on doing business in China. So definitely subscribe, tell your friends. And with that, I hope you guys have a great day or evening wherever you are. Stay safe, okay? Stay safe, continue to wash your hands, and we're all going to get through this together. So any more questions, you can hit me up on IG, Yahoo, personal website, or email. Bye-bye.